It's 2014, and I can't wait to visit my daughter, who's living and working in Colombia. We spend a couple of days in the beautiful walled city of Cartagena, which is right on the coast, before we head inland. We're bouncing along in an open-air Jeep with half a dozen other passengers in the beautiful, lush countryside when darkness falls like a curtain and the Jeep stops. 2 policemen board and demand to see our IDs. We fish out our passports and identification, and the whole process only takes 10 minutes, but the mood shifts from relaxed and chatty to silent and serious. I'm thinking about the conversation that I had with our credit card company right before we left. The rep is asking me, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to Colombia to visit my 23-year-old daughter who's living and working in a rural part of the country. And by rural, I mean it's a 45-minute open-air Jeep ride and an hour-and-a-half hike to get there." "Wow," she said. "My daughter's a year old and the nearest grocery store is 2 miles down the road. I can't imagine having to go all that way for some milk, right?" I continue. "She's working as an accompanier witness in the community that she's living in because they are intentionally not aligned with the military, the paramilitary, or the guerrillas, but none of those 3 groups trust their neutrality. So my daughter and the group that she's with wear bright blue t-shirts when they walk with them and serve as unarmed accompaniment in the countryside. They're connected with the UN and other international agencies, and so people know not to interfere with the community." "Whoa," the rep said. I couldn't agree more. When Gail started looking for jobs after graduate school, I tried to keep my big, loud opinion to myself and crossed my fingers that she would not choose this job so far away from home and so filled with potential danger. But it was her passion to be working with social justice, and she needed to be here, and I needed to support her. I knew that her predecessors on the job had been present when shots were fired, and I knew that several years before that, a number of the leaders of the community were rounded up and shot. I had to take a breath and know that it was my passion to support her and her work. I need to see her. I need to be there. I need to have my own feet on the ground. What is it like here? Is it tense? Are people guarded? Are they friendly? Even though I can't protect her not only from physical harm, but from the emotional challenge of talking with those who had been disappeared or hurt, I want to support her as best as I can. I need to reassure myself as much as I want to visit this beautiful country and visit with her. I'm no stranger to travel. At 22, I crossed the United States by bus by myself. I've trekked to the Annapurna Base Camp. I've lived in England and France, but none of that came anything close to the responsibility and thought and care that needed to go into this job that Gail had. She sometimes needed to confront those 3 groups about not camping on the land of the community, not taking their things, and particularly not harming them. The Jeep drops us off at the halfway point, and we're going to stay with a nun who greets us dressed in chinos and a t-shirt. I'm worried that I'm not going to fall asleep because I like it chilly to sleep, and it is not chilly here. And I'm claustrophobic under the mosquito netting, but after our long travel day, I drop right to sleep. We arrive at Gail's little dwelling that she shares with her colleagues, and there is a broken refrigerator serving very nicely as bookshelves, a large tank of water, and a cold shower as amenities. We sit down on the stoop to chat, and a horse comes over to say hello. And I can see how Gail is glowing when she talks about getting to know the farmers in the community and about her job there. And one of her responsibilities occasionally involves negotiating with the military. So my 23-year-old daughter and her 23-year-old colleague are negotiating with the military? Gail talks about one meeting where she was translating from Spanish to English and realized that the words coming out of her mouth as accurately as she could portray them were those of the military, and she began to feel like she was almost one of them herself. Gail takes me to meet Maria Elena, who lives in the far corner of the community and makes lunch for the farmers before they go out in the field. We pass a densely grown yard, and there's a donkey there grazing. She shoos 2 tiny cats off an upturned log, which serve nicely as a place to sit, and she points out a duck and a chicken who are curled up asleep together underneath a small table, and I'm just totally charmed. In moments, Maria Elena turns around and hands us 2 bowls filled with oversized kidney beans, chunks of banana, and an egg on top. Oh, I'm flustered. Oh, gracias, muchas gracias. I had not been expecting a meal. She peppers me with questions. How do you like it here? Where is your husband? I'm stammering through in my high school Spanish from many years ago. And then she looks me right in the eye and she says, "You do us great honor by being here." I fill with tears. I feel that I am the one who's honored to be here. She knows what the risks are in this community, and she has chosen to take a stand and to live here. She has a daughter a similar age to mine. She asks when I'm going to return, and I know that she really wants to know. And suddenly, I get it. I realize that she's communicating to me that she cares about Gail. Gail is not alone in this community. There are people who see her, who get her. And I realize that I must open up my own heart and trust these people to be there for her so that I may return home and breathe easier myself. Thank you.